So I wanted to start recording my vibe coding or AI assisted coding sessions to kind of document them and give me the opportunity to like look back and see what I was doing in ways I could maybe do better next time, or maybe I learned something and want to have it some type of archive that it actually happened. So I am going to record myself creating just a really small app. It shouldn't take that long. This video will probably be maybe 2, 3 hours. I imagine this might take. But basically, I'm just gonna start from ground zero, pretty much, like where I start from, and kind of walk through every single thing I do, and I kind of follow the same process when I'm making an app. And this is coming from someone with no software experience, um, no real coding experience, no computer science background, no no formal teaching. I don't really surround myself with people who are really educated in this type of stuff or AI at all or coding. So I just want to kind of document that you can do it because a lot of the things I see on YouTube or X, they kind of sell it as you can, if you have an idea, you can go and do it. But for the average person, when you're not saying those type of things inside of a giant echo chamber, the average person doesn't actually understand, I think, where to start with no experience or if they've never touched it. Um, saying it is pretty simple, but I don't really see too many videos of people out there, raw, um, unedited type of stuff or trying to get you to download something or whatever. So I was just going to kind of walk through how I do it and maybe someone finds some value in this. Anyway, I'm going to get started here. I'll kind of run through. So I use VS Code to code as my IDE. I maybe next one I can get into how to download, VS Code, how to open it, how to set it up. But for this one, I'm going to assume, whoever's watching this knows how to program an IDE, pip install certain libraries. I already have a bunch of libraries already installed. I have Claude Code installed. That's the AI coding system I use. So I'm just going to kind of start with that. So basically, I have a blank IDE. I don't have a project folder open here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a project folder. So once I have VS Code open, I'm going to go to File, um, Open Folder, and then I'm going to go to where I store my projects, and then I'm just going to make a folder. And the app, I took some notes here. Basically, uh, I'm looking at moving soon, so I started going through like the process of looking at new apartments to move into. However, I'm moving to an unknown area, an area I've never been before. So basically, instead of going like link by link and going through every single apartment complex's website and seeing the amenities and seeing the floor plans, the costs, everything like that, basically, I'm going to make a web app where I can type in. One thing important to me when I'm looking for apartments is the distance to commute to where I'm working. So I want to be able to type in where I'm working, and then it'll show me or search for apartments around that area. And then it asks me like, what type of things do I want? If I prioritize them having like a gym on site or a pool or pets or something. I want to be able to enter that. I want to be able to enter a set of non-negotiables, so things that like it has to have or don't even like show me it. And then pretty much I just want the app to scrape the internet. I think we'll use we'll use ChatGPT for this one um, instead of Claude, but ChatGPT will scrape pretty much the internet, um, look for different apartments, things, and kind of do it for me. so I don't have to do it. And then hopefully it'll output. The goal here is for to get the ratings, the reviews, and then the contact information. And then there might be something else. This is definitely going to change as we go. It normally does when I do stuff like this. And then I do want to make sure I end the video with something tangible though. So we might just once we get the contact information, there is something else I want to do, but maybe I'll save that for the next one. Um, but yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna make a new folder. We're gonna call it apartment searcher. So then, so we opened up this uh, folder here. So I'm gonna close out this welcome message. Going to close out the sidebar, and then I'm just going to terminal, new terminal. I drag this all the way up. Um, CLS is a common command just to clear everything that I picked up on. Again, I don't know anything about terminal commands or anything like that, so um, yeah. So once I did already pip install Claude, and I logged in with my Claude account, so I'm just going to run Claude. Then it's going to say yes, and then it's going to open. Going to settings. So Claude Code has a bunch of backslash commands to do a bunch of stuff. There's a couple that I utilize, but the first thing I'm going to go is to settings. And then I'm going to make sure that the model is set to Opus. This is their most capable model. I started using Claude Code probably during the beginning of the summer, and it was Sonnet 4.5, and Opus is just absolutely ridiculous compared to it. In a good way, like a good ridiculous. I'm gonna make sure thinking mode is set to true, and then that's it for this one. Um, Next, I'm going to go to plugins, make sure plugins I have installed. So I got feature developer, front end. I think we're good on plugins. Um, Front end design, that's fine. I do want to try this one out today called um, Ralph Wiggum that I heard about. Where's that? Uh, was it? Oh yeah, there it is. Ralph Wu. Ralph Wu. So restart Claude. Just type exit. I run the CLS command just because I like to clear out the terminal. Claude. Hi. Plugin updated. Ralph Wu. Restart to apply. Exit. CLS. Claude. All right. So the first thing I like to do is you can use Claude to help you make a plan. So I'm going to enable plan mode. Um, so that's enabled. I'm going to say, let's make a plan for the following application. The application is to help me with apartment hunting in a new area. I want to be able to input a couple fields into this web app, such as location I work at, um, amenities that I would like the apartment to have. um, and what else do I have? a set of non-negotiables that the apartment complex must have. I want to make a web application that I can run locally and be able to use ChatGPT to do the searching for me. Actually, we'll do pause to Claude to do the searching for me using an Anthropic API key. I want to be able to validate. Actually, one thing we will need to absolutely prioritize is making sure the application is showing real results around the address of work that was input to, to make sure that the amenities specified, think dog, think pets welcome, workout center, pool, etc. are actually there. So yeah, I'm kind of telling it, now like I gave it a high level overview. Now I'm kind of digging into like the details of, and then hopefully my goal here is when I say like one thing we absolutely need to prioritize, then this is going to help it make tests to actually test the software or the web app. Um, so that's kind of like what I'm doing here. And then for the output, maybe we can just have the ratings, if any exist, any reviews, and maybe it's call out, distance from workplace, and then the contact information of the complex. The goal here, and then I'm going to kind of tell it again, kind of what I said at the start of why I want to make the app in the first place. The goal here is to simplify the process of looking online for different apartment complexes through Google, apartments.com, Zillow, etc. As it's very time consuming and there needs to be a lot to keep track of and a lot of digging that has to be done on each individual complex, which is what I'm trying to ultimately automate. So then Claude has this feature called Ultra Think, um, and it'll really take its time and kind of break it down. And I always just send this, not all the time, like in little things like, oh, like push this to GitHub, things like that, not really, or like make a good Git commit comment. But for this, like big, complicated messages, I always use the Ultra Think, and you can tell that it's enabled when it lights up like that. So press enter, and we'll see what it does here. See how long it takes. Probably like, maybe I'll just cut this time out when it takes a long time. So it's going to ask me a couple questions. What technology would you prefer for this web app front end? Um, you can do React. Cloud Web Search is fine. What's your preferred backend? Um, Just do the recommended. See, again, I don't have that much coding experience, so I don't even, I know the subtle differences between all those, but that's really. And then storage will be local because it's going to be a local app. And then I'll submit the answers. So it's going, it's going. Web search, tool use, yes. Add all those. Web search, yep. Yep. Also, this is a good one. What price range would you like besides the default for searches? Yeah, so yeah, user enter prices. I do have a price range, but I would like to be able to enter it. Okay, so it finished generating the plan. I'm going to scroll up. It does ask me a question. Would you like to proceed? But I am going to give it a look over myself before we do that. So, all right, so to input work address, let's see if it got the inputs right. Non-negotiable. Yep, Claude uses web search. Oops. Verifies amenities. Yep. Returns ratings, reviews, pros, cons, distance, contact info, and source URLs. It's good. Save favorites. See it. It added that to track the progress. That's very nice. The tech stack. These are what it's going to use to actually build the app. Um, it's probably a software engineer that hates this, but honestly, I'm not really as a regular person. Uh, this doesn't mean a whole lot to me personally. When it probably should, but it just doesn't really. So then let's see. Uh, um, then it just gave me the link to where the full plan is. Before do that, I'm going to move it into this project. So just gonna open File Explorer. Did we run this? And There we go. Here's Claude's plan. Apartment searcher, local web application that uses Claude Code Search API to find real apartment listings. Simplify, React, Cloud API with web search tool, apartment searcher. So it's going to show me how the layout it's going to make for the directory. And then where it saved this is kind of concerning. It looks like it's not actually running in this apartment searcher folder. So I'm going to ask it to confirm that after. Detail project structure, UI, database schema, very simple. Search, apartments, favorites, Claude integration. So it's going to use that model. It's going to use the tool. It's going to search apartments.com, Zillow, filter with only apartments, key output fields, user interface flow. So the home page, work address input, loading state, result page, apartment detail, favorite page. Then it's going to go through a phase approach to actually make it. Project setup, cloud integration, backend, front end, favorites. Okay, and then it did make a testing plan. This is what I was hoping it would do on its own without actually saying it. It's going to make, how is it going to verify this thing actually works? That's great. Verify real results, re-verify. This is going over the API cost. That's fine. Dependencies. Type. So if they ask me, would you like to proceed? I'm going to select 3 and type something else. Are you operating in the project folder? I see you did not save the plan.mp file in the apartment searcher folder that we are currently working out of. Can you confirm? Also, what in this plan do you think could fail? Where would we run into issues? And what and how do we make sure when the systems will successfully work together? The testing plan is good, but I will also test manually by searching childhood addresses myself. And then what else? What else? Is there a way to document what uh, we will have to most likely do this through multiple context windows. So make sure that each AI agent boot up and each chat, if we go through the project, reads the plan pattern default. Oh, I forgot to put alter thing. Let's see what it says about operating in the correct project folder. Yeah. There's a. It did save in the wrong. That's a good risk. It calls out why it could hallucinate. Okay, so that's me. Can I modify? Gonna yes and allow all edits. So there's our plan.md file. So that's fine now. Document containing entire plan. So we calculate distance. Okay, so now it's gonna ask me questions about the risks, which is great. How should we calculate distance? I think Claude estimate's fine. And it's probably gonna ask me about the other one. So it rebuilt the plan. I want to go back to what it called out for risk. Inconsistent response format. We'll see what the response looks like, and then maybe we could debug it. Websites may not always tell them any requirement may miss them. File manual override. Cache results. Access stream. That should be fine. Refresh. Just want to make sure. Did you include all the proposed mimics? And then it does. Sometimes the editor does this thing. No, that's good. Bug an hour right now. Can I just ask it? Yeah, it's like bugging out. It doesn't even show that I sent the message. Where is it? Mm. Okay, so it does have mitigations. Where is that refresh? Ah, re-verify vote. Okay. Right here to implement. Re-verify button fetch is fresh data. All right, would I like to proceed? Yes. So I think it's gonna turn. Let me go to settings. So it's gonna start. I do want to do one more thing. It's gonna start writing all the files though. It's gonna write git ignore. So these are everything because I am gonna make this push this to GitHub for revision tracking as we go through changes. Maybe in the next video I can talk about how to maybe set up GitHub Um, for revision tracking. It's basically why I don't really know too much about GitHub. I just use it to go back to old versions of the code if I have to. But I do know that you're not supposed to put your .env file in GitHub. No, that one. Yeah, so we're going to make all these files. This will take quite a while. I do want to check the context. Context is basically Claude has 200,000, can accept 200,000 tokens before it has to clear its history pretty much. And like 25% of that is used up already by um, Claude Code itself using like different things. I can pull it up in a second here. Yeah, it's gonna go to town. So I'll once it pauses, when it's done with phase 0 or phase 1, um, I'll come back. But basically I'm just gonna let it run. And I'll show you the context thing. Right, so we got interrupted with a question, it looks like. And let's do install monorepo. Yep. I'm not gonna let it install whatever it wants, honestly. So list files. Yep. Right, so we did do the whole thing. Okay, no, no, no. Phase 1 complete. So let's see. Phase 1 complete the entire application structure. So it made all the files. It's telling me how to run the app. Um, whoops. How to run the app, create .env file. I'm gonna have it do that. I'm gonna have it start the app. Actually, no, I'll start the app. Have your real work address. Selection must have. Yeah. Okay, so before we do anything, I'm gonna show you the context thing I was talking about. Let's see. Okay, so for the context, uh, just do / context. Okay, so this is what I was saying. So pretty much when all these boxes are filled up, um, Claude has to go clear these out so that it can accept more messages pretty much. So it tells you like, some are the system prompt of Claude Code, the system tools, MCP tools, custom agents. There it seems like there is one. Skills, it's those skills that it's using as default. All the messages that um, we've sent or that it's created on its own. And then the blank ones are free space. And then some are an auto compact buffer. So like once you get here, it'll start auto compacting. So I'm going to have it, since we do have a little bit left, I'm going to create the .env file. Um, and then I'm also going to have it try running the app and then test it. And then I think what we'll do is we'll compact the chat so all this gets cleared out. So when it compacts, it just creates a summary and then stores the first couple of storage blocks here with the summary of the last chat or where the project is currently so that the next chat can reference it to see, hey, this is where I left off. and you open up all your space for more tokens. So um, going to do yes, create the .env file and also include anything else you think I might need besides just the Claude API key in the .env file. So the .env file is basically where you can put your secret keys, public keys, and private keys for different applications that you're using. So like if I'm going to use Claude Code for this one, I'm going to need to generate an API key that every time the app here queries like Google or whatever it uses to search for the apartments, it's going to actually use my API key and it's going to charge me for every API like API call because using Claude isn't free, you know, so that's how it connects that. And you can think of it like if you're hosting your web app on something, you'll need a key for that. Uh, Stripe, if your web app has payments, you need a key to connect your application to Stripe, and that uses a key. So these keys are maybe do like a vibe code, you know, dumbed down summary of all these things in like later videos or the next video or something. All right, so so did it required server, search tuning, model selection. I might change this to Opus just to see it get the results. Debug mode shows full cloud response in terminal. Um, then just to refresh myself, I'm going to open up the plan.md file. And then it didn't update the plan, which is interesting. Um, Interesting. Okay. So then it gives me some tips. I'm going to open up another terminal. Close this. Going to run this command in a different terminal. The link. Not going to click it yet. Open the app. Okay, so I am going to generate an API key and then put it in here. And I'm gonna have to like cut this part of the video once I generate the API key because if someone saw this API key, you could use the API key for like your own app, and then I would get charged the um, I would get charged for all the API usage. So I'm gonna go to Quad Console. Create a key, name it apartment, search for. I got the key, so I'm just going here. So let's do that. Server in the API key, close that. Here's the app code. Also going to change the model. Close out of that. Bring up the Fiasco again. All right. Okay. So then file link. Let me say Chrome. Okay, so this is, bring this up. Okay, so here is the app it made. And what did it want me to test? It wanted me, it's a real work address, like your must-have amenities, click search department. All right, so let's go to Google. Uh, Apple headquarters. Let's go here. Work address. Non-negotiables must have. Let's say it has to be pet friendly. There has to be a fitness center. Nice to have parking. Search result. Come on, let's do 25. Optional search apartments. No apartments found. Interesting. Um, so if we go back to VS Code, we can see that we got an error. Search one failed. Authentication error. Type out the authentication error, whatever. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, copy it, and then go back to our Claude chat. I think it has something to do with the API key based upon the looks of it. So I'm going to go back to Claude and be like, I have the application running. I type in an address and selected some amenities. And you see the following error in the telephone number. Hmm. In the backend, about this terminal, copy the error. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the API key. And I'm going to tell us what you think. See what it says. Because the API key. It's like back to Cloud Console. I'm gonna have to open that .env file again. So let me hide VS Code for now. All right, it's definitely there. Oh, you know what I might have to do? I might have to just restart the server. So it's asking me to check the format. I'm gonna go back here, Control C, yes, CLS. And then I'm just gonna ask it, what is the correct command to run the application again? I forgot. Also, do I have to run one for the front end as well as the back end? Hmm. Again, run dev. I was doing good so far. Go back here, follow the link, and hide Chrome, starts again. Um, Address, pet friendly, fitness center, has to have parking, air conditioning, dishwasher. Let's see. This may take 30 to 60 seconds. So let's see what happens. No apartments found. There's gotta be apartments over there. So let's open this. Let's go back to, huh. So it didn't use the model, so I'm gonna have to open the .env file again. Well, let's make sure that the model is right. Yep, let's relaunch the app. Copy the address again. Pet friendly. Let's do pet friendly and parking as to tend to be there. 25. I'm also going to open up here. Nice. Okay. Yeah, looks better. Okay, so still no results on high TS code. Let's open up Claude Code again. Okay, I wonder, we probably still have to move on. So the app is working. But it is not finding any results. Do we need to continue with more phases, or is there something you would like to test before we move on to phase one, to the next phase? Oh, okay, so it says I've reached my limit. Hmm. Gonna gonna change the API usage. Hmm. Gonna type Chrome for a second. So it's saying, can you share what's is in the terminal output? But unfortunately, there is no actual, there is no quad response. So show it. Okay, it's gonna add the probably have to reset the app. For sure. Yeah, so let's just say only parking and pet friendly and fitness center would be nice. 25 miles, searching. Okay, let's see if it outputs Claude's response. While that loads, I'm going to check that my Claude API key is um, let's see. All right, this is interesting. So Claude response received. Okay, it didn't. Let me copy this. Looks like it didn't parse anything. Here's the output from the last search. What's recommended? So it's saying it found the issue. We'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty certain that was going to run. It didn't. Hit reset the server. Try again. You see another problem. Um, in my .env file, I did set the the model to be Opus, but it looks like it says we're using Sonnet, so I'm going to I have to ask about that. But let's see what happens this time. Okay, look at this. So we got results this time. Um, so let's see. Raw code, first 3,000 characters. So this is incorrect. It says critical findings. Um, but it did output two. I don't know what this means. X mainly two, view details. See, nothing there. View details, distance from Apple One, approximately confidence, phone, website, unverified. X mainly two. I don't know what that means. Concerns, tag phone. Did it have a website? Interesting. Okay, so that's cool. Okay, so that actually kind of works. All right, so let's go back to Claude. First of all, obviously this isn't right. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to go back into code or Claude Code and say, okay, we have results. We have results showing up now. I noticed the first one displayed does not make any sense given the context of the application. Please look at it in the attached image. It looks like it's displaying a Claude response as an apartment. And then it's Alt V, I think. Yeah, Alt V to paste the image. I'm also going to ask it to increase the let's see, actually, this one. You can reset the server, said it fixed it. And there, we ran topic. So I said fitness center. Yeah, said parking, 25 miles. Sorry. Take a look. 0 result. Interesting. So the backend says that it found result. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to tell it the backend found results, but the front end is not actually displaying. Like on the web. And there's the front end. Okay, so this time it looks like it had a problem with cloud response to the address and separate lines for the address for our parser. So one thing I like to do in this, so we're having problems with the parser. So basically it's taking this text and looking for certain things in the text and then trying to put them in certain places. Um, so let's see if we can get rid of the parser and replace it with something better. Is there a way to get rid of the parser entirely? We can't bank on all apartment complexes having the same general layout for their amenities, floor plans, etc. Is there a way that we could just, let's see, if we have the results, Claude could just output a summary of the ones and display the summary. Same thing with the contact info or more details page for the apartment. I'll restart it anyway. Oh, it answered. So it's going to do that, I think. Let's double check. Yeah. So now Claude will make the summary instead of us trying to extract the text from its response. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I'm gonna cancel this. And then wait for this to finish up. Alright, so it looks like it finished almost. So here's that context thing. It's gonna auto compact soon, which will kind of clear its memory a little bit on what we've done. So when this, see if we can try it. So let's try it again. See what it did. Memo market. And summarize it. Well, I only found three, which is, let's see. I'm gonna tell it, um, there are still some bugs to figure out before we move on to the next phase of the project. Seems to be working okay, but on the map, there are tons of more apartments than just the three that's found on the left. I'm gonna ask you to update the PlanMD file and update the quad if needed, as we have to start a new tab to continue this. So we're gonna auto compact. So I'm just gonna ask it to kind of, summarize what it's done in that plant, update that plant MD file. So when we start the next chat, it'll be able to look at that and see where we ended up. Mm, and then also watch this. So last thing, create a GitHub and I'll click over the files, click not for the database. If someone downloads this from GitHub and runs it, the database should initialize. So no need to commit our database input that we have from testing. Confirm this after contains history public repo. Yeah. So now I'm going to make the GitHub repo. I forgot about that. Should have done that earlier. We're just going to commit it. Come on, 2%. Can we do it? Yeah, I think it did it. Let's see. Oh yeah, compacting. Perfect, perfect timing. Oh, I got the plan in there. Whatever. So it'll compact. And then yeah, we'll restart. All right, so it restarted. Yeah, and it's continuing where I left off. So last concern was, oh yeah, I wasn't showing them that. Okay, looks like it fixed it. Maybe restart the client. At the fitness center, parking. Hey, there we go. Okay, very close, very close. It's the same one. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's pretty getting there. It's getting there. Yeah. So now we needed, what do we need? We needed parking, right? Anyway, seems to be working pretty well. So go here, do it one more time. I'm going to make notes. So it has to have a fitness center, has to have parking. So it has to have a fitness center and has to have parking. So after this output, we'll just check their website and see if they actually have parking. Check a couple of them. In the meantime, I'm going to tell Claude that seems like it's working very well. We have many results this time. What other tests would you like me to if there are? Oh, look at that, look at that. Here, I do want to change the model. So the backend and the API keys, it says that we're using Sonnet for, and I have the .env file set to for. Do you know why this could be? So basically, it's using a model, an older model. I wanted to use the newest one. So I did tell it to use the newest one. It just doesn't seem like it's doing it. So let's see what it says. Let's see. Let's see if it uses the better model. Has to have a fitness center, has to have parking. Edit that out, but we didn't. It's existing model. No logs in the background. So, okay, so I just found it that I think it's stuck. Because it's just been loading and there's no messages in the back end. So it'll probably I imagine it'll probably add some logging. I'm like, what is it doing right now? We'll see. Yep, let's restart this guy. Okay, finish. Okay, it has to have a fitness center, has to have parking. All right, so it looks like it finished up. Did take a little bit because we were using Opus now instead of Sonnet. It's to be expected. So that's pretty decent. So let's see. We put parking and gym. Actually, let's just go here. Parking available. Okay. Good. Save your favorites. Let's see. Nice. Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. Uh, let's go to one of these points. That's on apartments.com. Oh, interesting though. I don't see that it says it has a gym. See, this is what I don't want to do. This is the whole reason we're making the app. All right, I got a gym. That's for sure. Okay. Alrighty, so Seems to be doing pretty good now. Let's try another one. Seasonal listing, copy website. Does it have gym and parking? Parking garage? Nice. Fitness center. Very cool. Okay. So I'm not going to go through every single one, but it does seem like it's working. So I'm going to um, tell Claude that it's working. Seems to be working great. It just takes a while. Due to the model. Reason. What's next? To test or in the phased approach? Yeah. Confirm with me your plan and what's next before actually starting the code. Ask me questions if needed. That's the thing. See what it says. Cooking some food and it's heating up something and thought it was burning. All right, let's see. So what did it say? We'll have to dig into the Ralph Wiggum's plugin that we installed to start the maybe in the next one. She's working. Let me summarize current state. From the prompt changes are actually returning 10 results. No code changes. Price train. You getting the question for me? Am I getting 10 results? Yes, 10 results. I mean, the app is doing what I wanted it to do now. Um, I do want to be able to see past results. Free map solution would do great. Test out the past results capability. They define some tests for it before implementing it. Do the same thing with the map solution. Confirm before starting to write on the code. Also, look over Plan MD. Does any of it have to be modified or removed completely based on the scope? of the app. Mhm. I think I've been muted for a little bit, but basically, I was told to update the plan with the proposed next features. I wanted to to get that plan MD file out of GitHub. I don't think it has to be there. And then we're gonna we're gonna commit the changes to GitHub just in case we have to revert back to this state because we know it's working right now. Yeah. Next thing, so that's all updated. I'm gonna check our context. Hmm, yeah, we clear it, and then we'll restart compact. So I'm gonna compact it, clear it up. So when it adds its new features, um, it has a fresh context window. All right, so it compacted, and then I'm just gonna continue right where we left off. Confirm you understand where we left off and what's next to finish up the application before starting the coding. Okay, so it understands exactly where we left off. Mm. Yep. So it's gonna add the search history and then the map view that we talked about. So if you fuck or need clarification. So if you're gonna do phase one first, might take a little bit, but we'll see how long it runs. And then do phase two, test it, and finish it up. It looks like it's still running. That mute. Oh, so it's actually running the server, and it's gonna check itself if it did the history, if the history thing is working. Oh, I see it. Um, did add it up top here. History. Nice. And it does, it actually does that. Delete that one. Yeah. And then it shows us the results for each search. So that's very nice. Um, very nice. So you can tell from the terminal here, it jumped straight into phase two. It didn't even ask to continue, just because it tested phase one itself. So it jumped right into um, phase two with no input from me. I'd rather have it that way, honestly. Mm. Let's see if it gets this map. This map will be the tough one. I think it can do it though. I think it'll do it no problem. Still testing it itself. Hmm. So really not too much to talk about here. Gonna let it keep doing its thing. Okay, so says it's working. 5173. Let's try it. Said it finished up. We'll go here. Same thing. We need parking in a fitness center. 25 for the back end. Actually, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna kill your instance of this server, please, so I can start mine to see the logs myself. Okay, thank you. Need parking in the fitness center. Oh, interesting. Okay, so search bro. Let's go back to Claude. Got the following error. Trying to search. Oh, this is probably the error. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah. Anything start with a zero. Searching. Failed to set. Do a refresh. Oh, back on 73. Marketing, fitness center. Ah, this looks really promising. That is pretty sweet. So, man, I wish it showed me the work though. Doesn't look like it shows you where you work. Oh, even if you click it, dude. Okay, yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet. Wow. Yeah, we I'm gonna. That's pretty. Let's see, is it real? In between mission and. All right, it's close. That's pretty sweet though. Hmm. Now the real question: does it have my parking and gym? Fitness center. Parking. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. Well, there it is. So that took a little. That took about two. Looks like 2.5 hours. Um, to make this tool. Again, this is my process. This will probably change. There's some things I didn't get to really explore um that Wiggins login or plugin that I installed at the start. So hoping to do that on the next one. So I really want to do that on the next one. So um we'll do that on the next one. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let's see the history. This is the one that just completed. Um, Looks like it's processing these two for some reason. Let me delete those. Delete, refresh. They're gone now. View. Okay, yeah, that's sweet. Does it show us the? Okay, no, it doesn't show us the map on the ones we did before we added, which makes sense. So yeah, it looks good. Um, yeah, that's sweet. And I'm more concerned about the start again, the amenities, make sure they have them, but the map and stuff is extra. So all right. Yeah, gonna try to do another one of these soon. Probably the next time I think of a need for something that's requires a lot of repetitiveness or searching or stuff that's just annoying like apartment searching. So all right. I'm gonna cut it there then.